Guys, today we've got a surprise release of the Bred 4 Reimagined, the biggest Travis Scott Jordan ever made, and don't buy shoes from Kith. Welcome back to Sneaky Sundays, guys. Thankfully this week we actually had some releases, unlike last week. So we're gonna kick it off with a recap, starting with the Jordan 1 High Yellow Ochre. We took a look at these on the channel before they dropped, and it's a nice pair of shoes. You could just wait until they drop down in price, which I imagine is going to happen. A brand new Soleil Bembury 1906R New Balance collaboration dropped, and yes, these things flew. However, there should be a wider, more global release relatively soon. I think the only place that they did drop was beasponge.com, and currently these two shoes are reselling for like over $1,000, so definitely hold off from paying any sort of resale until that New Balance drop happens, which as soon as we get a date, I'll keep you guys updated. All right, let's jump into this upcoming stuff. Now, we've got a couple drops that are right around the corner, which we should probably run through. Starting with the Nike SB Dunk Low Court Purple. These are going to be dropping January 27th. These things are definitely going to be pretty hyped. I know that the original pair is reselling for a decent amount, so if you were after this pair of shoes, you don't want to pay anything over retail, definitely be in line. They're loaded up on the Nike Sneakers app. A pair of dunks that came out of nowhere, which I'm really liking, is this one right over here. It's called the Light Armory Blue and Photon Dust, but I just really love the super light gray and the light blue mixed together in a package that comes with super soft hairy suede. I'm definitely going to be going for it. If you are as well, again, January the 25th, they are also loaded up on the Nike Sneakers app. This is a pretty solid one. The Soulgoods and Jordan Airship collaboration is looking really nice. It's finally an airship that changes up quite a lot on the sneaker, which I feel like we've only seen, you know, slight color changes and maybe material changes, but these have a ton of added elements, like a complete rework of the toe box with this added mesh. You've got some branding on the back heel and around the ankle collar. The materials look super nice. I think this might be one of the nicest airships I've seen in a very long time, and they're going to be dropping January the 20th on Soulgoods.com. We've got the return of the Eggplant Foamposites, which are going to be dropping on the 14th of February. This is a little bit of an update. I don't think we had a release date for these things, because not only are we getting the Eggplants, but later down the line this year, we're also going to be getting the Red Metallics, the Anthracites, and of course the Galaxies, which are all going to be dropping around springtime. We've got a little release update for the Jordan 3 Craft. This is a pair of shoes that I'm personally after. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these things down in the comment section, but it's definitely a little bit of a different Jordan 3, and for the most part, we've seen the release date happening for March this year. However, it's looking like it is now confirmed for February. To be more specific, these should be dropping on February the 3rd for $210. CLOT and Adidas are finally going to be dropping their new collaboration. We've got a release date for the first pair, this one right over here, the Adidas Superstar, which hardly looks like a superstar anymore. These things are completely different. I imagine there's going to be a lot more dropping in February with this collaboration than just this pair of shoes, because we know that they kind of revealed an entire collection with multiple shoes, an entire clothing line. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I mean, it's definitely different. I don't know if I could pull these things off. Love to know your thoughts on this collaboration. At least it's something different, that's for sure. We got another return of a classic. This is the Nike Zoom Vemero 5 Electric Green. They're going to be dropping this year. I believe the last time these things dropped was 2019. These should be coming summer 2024, along with the Racer Blue colorway. We do not have a specific release date, just at some point during the summertime. Sticking with Nike, we got a little update on the brand new Air Max model that's supposed to be debuting on 2024 Air Max Day, which is March the 26th, I believe. This is called the Air Max DN. Now, we've been taking a look at this black colorway, which I was very interested in because it looks insanely futuristic. Like, look at this air unit on the back with like all of these little circular pods. Just got leaked in all over neon colorway, which honestly, I'd take the black one any day. There's like a bunch of different color codes for different, you know, the sail and black, the black and white. But just note, if you don't like either of these two, you'll have plenty of options, don't worry. Where's my ASICS fans at? Because we've got a pretty solid collaboration dropping this March. Take a look at these things. This is the ASICS Gel Hidden NY. First of all, the colorway, very fitting for this model, but my favorite detail about this pair of shoes is that ASICS logo, which is all pixelated, which I think is such a subtle but such a cool branding opportunity. If you are after a new pair of ASICS, or hey, if you even wanted to try them out, this is a pretty solid one. But yeah, March the 1st. And Nike just will not quit with the freaking Pandas, huh? Well, we got another version. This is the patent Croc Panda. So basically, this is identical to the Supreme Dunks that they did a couple years back, except it doesn't have the stars, and now you also have a gum outsole instead of the black one that the Supreme had. You also don't get the lace debray, obviously, but I mean, this is pretty damn close. I mean, Nike really knows what they're doing. You've even got the gold Nike branding on the tongue, except these are not SBs as well. Either way, there is zero information on these, no release date. However, these are official images, so I actually imagine that these drop within like either this month or next month. We got a little update for one of the most anticipated sneakers dropping this year, and it is the Air Jordan 1 Low OG Shadow. We got an updated release date, so it's May the 10th, 2024. They're looking solid. It's a solid colorway. It's definitely one that I'm going to be going after. The leather looks okay, nothing incredible. It looks just, you know, pretty standard as far as a Jordan 1, but it is a Shadow Low, which, I mean, they're reselling for a ton. So anybody who, you know, was kind of stuck in a place where they really wanted this pair of shoes, but they don't want to pay resale, well, now you've got an opportunity. I actually imagine these things will be pretty attainable as well. You should be able to pick one up. Speaking of one of the most anticipated drops, a pair of sneakers that people are already calling sneaker of the year, the Jordan 4 Bred Reimagined. First of all, we've got some brand new official images that just dropped of these things. Finally, I think the release is going to be absolute chaos. However, we do have some good news about that, which I will tell you guys in a second. They come with a little blacked out hang tag, which typically is orange, and we've got a little look at what the box looks like, which is basically just kind of like a little switch from what you would normally see with a Jordan 4 box. So as of right now, the stamped in release date is going to be February the 17th, and the retail price is $215. So one of the latest rumors is a stock number, 500,000 pairs, 500,000. Now this seems pretty accurate because it's very similar to what we saw with the Jordan 1 Lost and Found. Nike, Jordan brand, obviously knew that they would be able to sell 500,000 pairs of those things, and I think they're probably thinking the same with these. And as we know, with the Lost and Founds, even though there was tons of pairs, it was still super hard to get your hands on. Like, I did not manage to get a pair for retail. Jordan 4 is still at like the top of its game right now. People love these things, and it's the freaking Bred 4s. They're going to be going nuts. So yes, this is going to be a hard release. So here's a little comparison to recent reimagined releases that we had. Obviously 500k for the Lost and Founds, 300k for the Jordan 3 White Cement Reimagines, and then 500,000 for those Bred 4s. So we just got a new leak that apparently these are going to be dropping with early access through JD and Finish Line. Now this is not going to be the only exclusive access. I think there's going to be a few different rounds in different regions of exclusive access through the Nike sneakers app before that February the 17th drop. The thing is, I don't think you need to panic. Like, don't listen, oh yeah, there's going to be exclusive access, and then you start panicking and subscribing to a bunch of different cook groups to find release dates and all of that. Once there is a date for a shock drop or exclusive access, you will definitely know. So yeah, this is not information that you need to pay money for by any means. It's definitely going to get leaked way ahead of the actual release. Just keep your ears out, subscribe to the channel. I'll keep you updated as best as I can. Let me know what you think of these things down in the comment section. Are you going to be after a pair of Bred 4s? Speaking of upcoming releases, we also have some information on this pair right over here. Probably one of the most controversial Travis Scott Jordan 1s. Controversial as in polarizing. Let's put it that way. The Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 Low OG Canary Yellow. So these are going to be dropping summer 2024, which is actually right around the corner. I'll probably imagine that these get some kind of June release date, July maybe. Colors are very polarizing. Yellow blue with a gum outsole, but it is inspired by Travis Scott's high school. Either way, like I said, we also got some information on this pair in terms of stock. Apparently, it's going to be the biggest stocked Jordan 1 Travis Scott collaboration ever. So to put that in perspective with the rest of the sneakers, we had 20k for the original, 15k for the fragment, 60k for both the Golfs and the reverse mochas, 100k for the Black Phantoms, 150k for the olives, and then 200k for these canaries. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this release goes. Like, obviously, I think, I assume that they are going to sell out. That is probably a no-brainer, but it'll be very interesting to see, like, what is the demand going to be like, considering every other Travis Scott Jordan 1 has been, like, off the charts popular. With the highest amount of pairs made, Is it going to be something that you actually see is easier to get? Or is it just going to be one of those things where it doesn't matter, it's a Travis Scott release, everybody's going to be going for them just to try and resell them? Either way, as soon as we get any updated information on an exact release date, I'll let you guys know. Sticking with Travis Scott, a little update from last week's story that we spoke about. Take a look at this. So we've got the Travis Scott Sharkadon Beach Tree, I think is how you say it. We actually have an updated kind of release date for them, fall 2024. We basically spoke about last week because Travis Scott was wearing them at a concert, and then he took them off of his feet and gave it to the fan and said, these are my favorite shoes, don't sell them. You guys know the story, but basically now it turns out that this is going to be like a production pair. I like these things, and I think a lot of you guys did as well. I asked you guys whether you prefer the cut the check or the Sharkadon model, and a lot of you guys said that you prefer these over Jumpman Jacks or whatever we're calling them, cut the checks. I'm not entirely sold on this colorway, but I definitely like the model. Like the midsole is just a really nice shape. Either way, fall 2024, no specific release dates for these things. Couple more Jordan updates. We got the Air Jordan 14 SE Flint Gray. These are going to be dropping this year, apparently on March the 20th. These are the official images, looking pretty nice, but honestly not something that I'm that interested in. We got some better images of the upcoming Air Jordan 1 High Denim colorway, which last week we spoke about these things, and I was looking at the images and I was like, damn, are they bleeding already? Because like in some of these shots you can see there's some color bleeding on the denim from like over here onto the white. And then there was like a ton of people down in the comment section like, no, that's not color bleeding, that's how they're supposed to be. And I guess you're probably right. This probably is intentional, but it doesn't look intentional, at least to me. Regardless, I think the general colorway is nice. Maybe we'll get some more insight on this whole like design of why it is like this slight color transfer onto the white material. Just wanted to update you on that, and release date we still don't have any specifics, but they're going to be dropping summer 2024 at some time. Another pair of Jordan 1s coming this summer is the Green Glow colorway. These things are looking nice. We got some more early images, and the actual leather looks pretty solid. I'm thinking it's not bad at all. Like I would probably buy these things and wear them quite a lot. I think it's a pretty decent colorway. New Balance and Kith are going to be dropping a collab. This is something that we had seen rumored for a while, but now we just got some brand new images of this colorway here, which is like all over sale. But this is the original rumor that I think we spoke about last year. It's a 1906R with the Kith branding on the inside. This colorway is definitely not my favorite, but this one is looking very, very nice. In terms of release date for this collaboration on the whole, we don't know any specifics, but it should be relatively soon. An upcoming collaboration that got people really going, Louis Vuitton and Timberland. So Pharrell showed off these shoes very recently, and it absolutely took off online because basically Timberlands are trending right now. It's the it shoe. People kind of moving on from the Sambas and jumping on this wave, but now as soon as they see the Louis Vuitton collaboration, it's going to definitely become more popular. Right? So basically it's the regular 6-inch boot with the Louis Vuitton branding, and from like the video in the image you couldn't really tell that there was any Louis Vuitton, like the typical monogram print. However, when you do see a video of this, let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, over here you can actually see the monogram print, which is very subtle. It kind of fades, like it's super strong at the back and then gets lighter and lighter around the front. And then of course you have the monogram print on the traction pattern as well on the you know, underneath the shoe. So there's no exact release date for these things, but Paris Fashion Week is right around the corner, so that's when they are expected to be like shown off and announced and actually have a release date. We've got a new ACW Nike collaboration, the Cold Wool Air Max Plus. And these things, man, they look freaking toasted. Just finished up putting up some drywall, plastering over it, and you were wearing your beaters, and now this is exactly what they look like. I don't even know if like, are they gonna come without laces or what's going on with these things, but clearly they are heavily distressed. So like if this is just like a shot of them in like, you know, it's a product shot and they have like all of these chips laying around, cool, but if you're wearing them, like let's say you buy this shoe and then you're walking around, this freaking flakes of shit falling off of the top of your shoe. You're leaving a trail as you're walking along. Like, that can't be good. Either way, these are going to be dropping this year. I'm very interested to see more pictures of these things to see if they do actually come exactly like this or if there's going to be something different about them. Either way, no specific release date, just at some point this year. Do you know how Adidas is partnered with Lionel Messi? Obviously for like kits and football boots, but if they did a sneaker collaboration, I want you to guess down in the comment section, what would it be? What Adidas sneaker model would Lionel Messi collaborate on? It's the freaking Adidas Samba. I just know most of you guessed that. I'm just assuming. I'll have a look at the comments later, but yeah, this is the first one, a blue, white, and gold for obviously blue and white Argentina. And this is not too bad in terms of the colorway, but then we're also going to be getting this one, which is slightly less good looking, at least in my opinion. Either way, no specific release dates on this pair of sneakers, but it should be dropping relatively soon within the next couple months. Here's an interesting story. Kanye West designed the Yeezy Wave Runner in 48 hours. So basically, Steven Smith, who co-designed the Wave Runner with Kanye West, he was in an interview, I don't even know who with, maybe Complex or something like that, and he was talking about the creation process of the Wave Runner and how it was working with Kanye West. He basically said that him and Kanye were they stayed up straight through a weekend to create the Wave Runner and were just going back and forth with ideas, and the entire shoe was pretty much finished at the end of the 48 hours, which is pretty crazy. I think it's a really interesting story, and I'm not gonna, you know, verbatim repeat what they were talking about, but if you do want to check it out, I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I just saw this one little clip of, you know, this whole story of them creating the Wave Runner, and I thought it was super interesting. So yeah, if you want to check it out, definitely suggest it because it's pretty dope. Sticking with Ye, he filed some new trademarks, which is something that we do know that Ye likes to do, some random trademarks. This time he trademarked the phrase, "I miss you when I wake up before you." This is literally in all caps, and it's basically a caption on one of his posts that he made about his wife. And now he's trademarked it for a bunch of different things, 9 different classes, from t-shirts, footwear, musical sound recordings to face, body, hand moisturizers. Potentially in the future, we're gonna get some products with the phrase, "I miss you when I wake up before you." Final story for today, and forgive me because we were supposed to talk about this last week, but I completely forgot to add it in or something. I can't remember why we didn't, but this is so crazy, I had to push it and bring it into this week. Melbourne man denied $30,000 refund after purchasing fake shoes from a teenager. So essentially, this is something that I made a video on, and I went over all of the details of what happened. But basically, a man bought 30,000 Australian dollars worth of shoes. It was some Jordan 1 Dior's, both the highs and the lows. Apparently, he also bought some Bred Chicago and Royal Air Jordan 1s as well. So basically, this man just bought this huge bulk order of insanely expensive shoes, all totaling up to the value of $30,000 from someone who was 17 years old. He bought all of these shoes, and when he got them in, he realized that they had some weird defects that clearly indicated that they were fake. So he decided to contact this 17-year-old to try and get his money back because he realized he bought a bunch of fake shoes. Now, obviously, the 17-year-old ghosted him, so the man decided to escalate and call his father. The guy then decided to get the seller's father and the seller to come with him to a local sneaker store to get these shoes authenticated, and when they arrived at this place, the staff members quickly said, yeah, these are all fake. And according to the buyer, the staff member's facial expression changed upon learning the seller's name and said he was a fraudster and a scam artist who had been blacklisted from the store. Now, the craziest part is, like, after all of this, the guy is like, okay, I'm gonna take you to court because you're clearly not gonna give me my money back, and the court decided to deny it. They said, no, you're not getting your money back. And you want to know why? Because this kid that this man bought all of these shoes from was 17 years old. The court later determined that the seller was underage at the time of the transaction and was not liable to make any refunds. So because you're under 18, you're not legally able to enter a contract. The court then ended this all off by saying, had the agreement been entered when the seller was 18 years old just a few months later, this would have been very, very different. Moral of the story, if you're gonna spend 30K on sneakers, they better be from a trusted source. And I guess the other moral of the story is be very careful or just do not buy sneakers from someone under 18. Let me know your thoughts on that one, but that wraps it up for this week's Sneaky Sundays. Make sure you subscribe because you will always stay in the loop with all of the latest upcoming releases.